Hello, and welcome to today's pharmacology revision quiz on drug metabolism. This video is designed to test your knowledge of essential concepts in drug metabolism. Before we begin, make sure to check out our companion video on this channel, which covers all the key concepts on drug metabolism. You can find the link in the description below. Quiz instructions. In this quiz, we'll tackle 10 multiple-choice questions on drug metabolism. Each question presents 5 answer options, and only one of them is correct. After each question, I'll provide the answer along with an explanation for why it's correct, and also briefly explain why each of the other given options is incorrect. To get the most out of this quiz, take a moment to pause and analyze each question before you proceed with the answer and explanations. Avoid skipping questions, try to answer each one to simulate a real quiz experience. And remember, valuable insights can be gained by reviewing the explanations for the incorrect options, so pay close attention to those. Question 1 is as follows. Which of the following enzymes is primarily involved in the metabolism of drugs via oxidation reactions in phase 1 metabolism? Option A, UDP-glucuronidyltransferase. Option B, glutathione S-transferase. Option C, cytochrome P450 monooxygenase. Option D, N-acetyltransferase. Option E, alcohol dehydrogenase. The correct answer is option C, cytochrome P450 monooxygenase. The explanation is as follows. Cytochrome P450 monooxygenase is essential for phase 1 metabolism, specifically oxidation reactions, which convert lipophilic drugs into more water-soluble metabolites. These metabolites are often then conjugated in phase 2 for excretion. Why the other options are incorrect. Option A is incorrect because UDP-glucuronidyltransferase is involved in phase 2 glucuronidation, not phase 1 oxidation. Option B is incorrect because glutathione S-transferase catalyzes glutathione conjugation, another phase 2 process. Option D is incorrect because N-acetyltransferase is involved in acetylation, a phase 2 metabolic pathway. Option E is incorrect because alcohol dehydrogenase specifically targets alcohol, not drugs in general. The tricky part here is recognizing the difference between enzymes involved in phase 1 and phase 2 metabolism and understanding that cytochrome P450 is crucial for phase 1 oxidative reactions. Question 2. Which of the following conjugation reactions in phase 2 metabolism is most likely to be impaired in neonates, leading to increased susceptibility to drug toxicity? Option A, sulfation. Option B, glucuronidation. Option C, acetylation. Option D, methylation. Option E, glycine conjugation. The correct answer is option B, glucuronidation. The explanation is as follows. Neonates have immature UDP-glucuronidyltransferase (UGT) enzyme activity, which leads to reduced glucuronidation capacity. UDP-glucuronidyltransferase (UGT) is the enzyme that catalyzes glucuronidation, a process where a glucuronic acid molecule is conjugated to drugs. This immaturity makes neonates more susceptible to drug toxicity, such as chloramphenicol-induced gray baby syndrome. Here is the explanation for the incorrect options. Option A is incorrect because sulfation is relatively well developed in neonates, so it does not lead to significant drug toxicity. Option C is incorrect because acetylation is immature in neonates, but its effects on drug toxicity are less pronounced compared to glucuronidation. Option D is incorrect because methylation pathways are functional in neonates, so they do not contribute to the increased toxicity risk. Option E is incorrect because glycine conjugation does not play a significant role in drug toxicity risk in neonates. The important aspect in this question is recognizing which phase 2 metabolic pathways are immature in neonates and understanding why glucuronidation has a profound impact on drug toxicity. Question 3 is as follows. Which drug is an example of a prodrug that undergoes hepatic metabolism to form its active metabolite? Option A, clopidogrel. Option B, paracetamol. Option C, morphine. Option D, ibuprofen. Option E, aspirin. The correct answer is option A, clopidogrel. The explanation is as follows. Clopidogrel is a prodrug that requires metabolic activation in the liver by CYP2C19 to form its active metabolite. This active metabolite exerts antiplatelet effects crucial for preventing clot formation. Here is the explanation for the incorrect options. Option B is incorrect because paracetamol undergoes metabolism but is not a prodrug and has active as well as toxic metabolites. Option C is incorrect because morphine is administered in an active form and has active metabolites like morphine 6-glucuronide, so it is not a prodrug. Option D is incorrect because ibuprofen acts directly without needing conversion to an active form. Option E is incorrect because aspirin hydrolyzes to salicylic acid but does not meet the definition of a prodrug. The important aspect of this question is distinguishing between drugs that require metabolic activation and those that do not, emphasizing clopidogrel's unique prodrug nature. Question 4 is as follows. Which of the following best explains why paracetamol can cause hepatotoxicity at high doses? Option A, excessive glucuronidation. Option B, depletion of glutathione. Option C, increased sulfation. Option D, accumulation of inactive metabolites. Option E, enhanced renal elimination. The correct answer is option B, depletion of glutathione. The explanation is as follows. At high doses, paracetamol is metabolized to NAPLEX, a toxic metabolite usually neutralized by conjugation with glutathione. When glutathione stores are depleted, NAPLEX accumulates, causing hepatotoxicity. Here is the explanation for the incorrect options. Option A is incorrect because excessive glucuronidation is a detoxifying reaction and does not cause toxicity. Option C is incorrect because increased sulfation also aids detoxification rather than contributing to toxicity. Option D is incorrect because accumulation of inactive metabolites is harmless and does not lead to liver damage. Option E is incorrect because enhanced renal elimination is unrelated to hepatotoxicity, which is a liver-based issue. The tricky aspect lies in understanding the role of NAPLEX and the protective role of glutathione in preventing liver injury from paracetamol. Question 5 is as follows. A 45-year-old patient is on warfarin, a drug with a narrow therapeutic index. He is prescribed rifampin for tuberculosis. What is the most likely effect of this drug interaction on warfarin therapy? Option A, increased risk of bleeding. Option B, no significant effect on warfarin levels. Option C, enhanced anticoagulant effect. Option D, reduced anticoagulant effect. Option E, increased plasma levels of warfarin. The correct answer is option D, reduced anticoagulant effect. The explanation is as follows. Rifampin induces CYP450 enzymes, particularly CYP2C9, which increases the metabolism of warfarin. This results in lower plasma levels of warfarin, reducing its anticoagulant effect and increasing the risk of clot formation. Here is the explanation for the incorrect options. Option A is incorrect because increased risk of bleeding is incorrect because reduced warfarin levels decrease, not increase, anticoagulation. Option B is incorrect because no significant effect on warfarin levels is incorrect as rifampin has a major effect by inducing warfarin metabolism. Option C is incorrect because enhanced anticoagulant effect is incorrect because rifampin reduces, rather than enhances, warfarin's therapeutic levels. Option E is incorrect because increased plasma levels of warfarin is incorrect as enzyme induction lowers, not raises, warfarin levels. The important aspect in this question is understanding how enzyme induction by rifampin leads to reduced warfarin efficacy and why this interaction poses a clinical challenge. Question 6. Which of the following enzymes is primarily responsible for the metabolism of ethanol in the liver? Option A, CYP1A2. Option B, alcohol dehydrogenase. Option C, monoamine oxidase. Option D, UDP glucuronosyltransferase. Option E, xanthine oxidase. The correct answer is option B, alcohol dehydrogenase. The explanation is as follows. Alcohol dehydrogenase is the primary enzyme responsible for the metabolism of ethanol in the liver, or it catalyzes the oxidation of ethanol to acetaldehyde. This reaction is a critical first step in ethanol metabolism, enabling further breakdown of acetaldehyde into less toxic compounds via additional enzymatic processes. Here is the explanation for incorrect options. Option A is incorrect because CYP1A2 is a member of the cytochrome P450 family primarily involved in the metabolism of drugs, not ethanol. Option C is incorrect because monoamine oxidase metabolizes neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, not ethanol. Option D is incorrect because UDP-glucuronosyltransferase is involved in phase 2 metabolism, conjugating glucuronic acid to enhance drug excretion, not ethanol metabolism. Option E is incorrect because xanthine oxidase primarily metabolizes purines to uric acid and has no significant role in ethanol metabolism. By understanding the specific role of alcohol dehydrogenase in ethanol oxidation, we can see how its activity is essential for processing and detoxifying alcohol in the body. Question 7. Which of the following drugs is activated through hepatic biotransformation from its prodrug form? Option A, acetaminophen. Option B, losartan. Option C, codeine. Option D, warfarin. Option E, methotrexate. The correct answer is option C, codeine. The explanation is as follows. Codeine is a prodrug that is converted into its active form, morphine, through hepatic biotransformation primarily by the enzyme CYP2D6. This activation is essential for its analgesic effects, as morphine binds to opioid receptors to provide pain relief. Here is the explanation for incorrect options. Option A is incorrect because acetaminophen is not a prodrug. It is active in its administered form and undergoes metabolism for elimination rather than activation. Option B is incorrect because losartan is active in its original form, although it is further metabolized to an active metabolite, it is not a true prodrug. Option D is incorrect because warfarin is active in its administered form and does not require hepatic biotransformation for activation. Option E is incorrect because methotrexate is active in its original form and does not undergo transformation into an active metabolite for its therapeutic effects. Question 8. Which of the following best explains why paracetamol can cause hepatotoxicity at high doses? Option A, excessive glucuronidation. Option B, depletion of glutathione. Option C, increased sulfation. Option D, accumulation of inactive metabolites. Option E, enhanced renal elimination. Side. The correct answer is option B, depletion of glutathione. The explanation is as follows. Paracetamol is primarily metabolized via glucuronidation and sulfation, but at high doses, these pathways become saturated. This results in the generation of a toxic metabolite, N-acetylp-benzoquinone imine, NAPQ, which is detoxified by glutathione. When glutathione stores are depleted, NAPQ accumulates, leading to hepatocellular damage and potentially fatal liver failure. Here is the explanation for incorrect options. Option A is incorrect because excessive glucuronidation is not the cause of hepatotoxicity, it is one of the primary safe metabolic pathways. Option C is incorrect because increased sulfation occurs at therapeutic doses but does not contribute to hepatotoxicity. Option D is incorrect because the accumulation of inactive metabolites does not lead to liver toxicity, it is the toxic metabolite NAPQ that causes harm. Option E is incorrect because enhanced renal elimination reduces drug toxicity rather than causing hepatotoxicity. Question 9. Which of the following pathways describes the primary method of elimination for lipophilic drugs from the body? Option A, renal excretion unchanged. Option B, phase 1 oxidation. Option C, phase 2 conjugation followed by biliary excretion. Option D, simple diffusion across cell membranes. Option E, conversion to polar metabolites via plasma esterases. The correct answer is option C, phase 2 conjugation followed by biliary excretion. The explanation is as follows. Lipophilic drugs are primarily eliminated after being metabolized into more water-soluble forms through phase 1 and phase 2 metabolism. Phase 2 conjugation, which often involves processes like glucuronidation, sulfation, or glutathione conjugation, makes the drug polar enough for biliary or renal excretion. This pathway is crucial for eliminating drugs that cannot directly undergo renal filtration due to their lipophilic nature. Here is the explanation for incorrect options. Option A is incorrect because lipophilic drugs are not readily excreted unchanged in urine as they are reabsorbed in the renal tubules. Option B is incorrect because phase 1 oxidation alone does not sufficiently increase water solubility for excretion, it requires phase 2 conjugation. Option D is incorrect because simple diffusion is not an elimination pathway but a transport mechanism that occurs before metabolism. Option E is incorrect because plasma esterases typically act on ester-containing drugs and are not the primary pathway for metabolizing most lipophilic drugs. Question 10. Which of the following is an example of phase 2 conjugation in drug metabolism? Option A. Hydroxylation of steroids. Option B. Sulfation of acetaminophen. Option C. Reduction of nitro groups. Option D. Epoxidation of aromatic compounds. Option E. Dealkylation of tertiary amines. The correct answer is B. Sulfation of acetaminophen. The explanation is as follows. Sulfation is a classic phase 2 conjugation reaction that enhances water solubility for drug excretion. This process attaches a sulfate group to the drug, increasing its polarity and facilitating its removal from the body through the kidneys. Here is the explanation for the incorrect options. Option A, hydroxylation of steroids, is incorrect because hydroxylation is a phase 1 oxidative reaction. Option C, reduction of nitro groups, is incorrect because reduction is a phase 1 reaction. Option D, epoxidation of aromatic compounds is incorrect because epoxidation is a phase 1 oxidative reaction. Option E, dealkylation of tertiary amines is incorrect because dealkylation is a phase 1 reaction. The tricky aspect here is differentiating between phase 1 and phase 2 reactions and identifying conjugation as a hallmark of phase 2. As a form of recap, take note of the following 4 tips to help you tackle similar questions effectively. The first tip is to recognize keywords like except or not in questions. These words can easily change the focus of the question, leading to confusion if overlooked. The second tip is to distinguish phase 1 from phase 2 enzymes and understand which types of reactions each phase involves. Phase 1 usually includes oxidation, while phase 2 involves conjugation. The third tip is to consider patient-specific factors, such as age, which affect metabolism. For example, neonates may have immature enzyme systems, impacting their response to drugs. The fourth tip is to be mindful of drug interactions, especially when drugs act as enzyme inducers or inhibitors, as these can significantly impact drug levels and therapeutic effects. And that wraps up our revision on drug metabolism. I hope you found this quiz helpful and that the explanations provided have reinforced your understanding of drug metabolism pathways, enzyme roles, and factors affecting drug biotransformation. For further reading, consider exploring Katsung and Trevor's Clinical Pharmacology, Rang and Dale's Pharmacology, and the British National Formulary, BNF. If you have any questions or need clarification, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to support our channel and receive updates on more educational content. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Spotify for additional resources and updates. Thanks for tuning in, and see you in the next video.